Hello guys, so in the last session we talked about how to connect your hardware, where I took you through the process of connecting your MikroTik router to your source of the internet, and then connecting the MikroTik router to the laptop so that you can run the script, the automation script. And that video is here, how to automate your internet business with Vertexlink ISP Billing Software and its hardware configuration. So in this video, we are going to talk about how to create your first site. So a site is basically, so let's say you want to set up internet in, let's say in Kakamega, Kisumu, Eldoret, Nyeri, wherever you want to set it up, okay? So that is the name you'll name that site, but of course that you could name it a site or the router, depends on you, okay? But on this application, you are calling them sites. So the first thing you do once you've created your account, you come to your vendor dashboard and then navigate to sites, okay? You can see we don't have any site because we've not created any, and then you just need to create by clicking on this new site, and then you name you give the name of the site here, and then the assigned VPN IP will automatically be generated for you, and then the description is optional. So let's say Kisumu, okay, and you can just click on add site. And you can see that your site has been created here, and this is the ID of the site, but by default it is offline. Okay, so when you click on this site, there's more information you get, but then it is not connected to the router. So you can see here, you can see this is the performance. You can see provisioning. Status is not there because there's nothing that has been done. There's no connection between that site and the router. But then if you check on your far right, you can see get setup command. So you need to click on this button, and it tells you it requires router OS version 7 or later. And then so you click on get command, and then it will generate this command for you, which you need to copy by clicking on the copy button. And then you need to download the software called Winbox. Okay, so if you just search in your browser Winbox, Winbox download, so you can, depending on the operating system you are using, you'll find the downloads here. So you can see you have the download for Mac OS, which I'm using. You have Windows, you have, so for my case I've already downloaded it, and you just need to run that software. So if you come to your downloads, you'll get it, and then you just need to run it in the normal way of running application. So let me just reset the configuration so you can see. It is going to restart the router. So as you can see, it has reset the router, and I'm just showing you the interface. So this is the interface when you've just opened that application. You can see on this side it gives you the credentials to be able to log in, but then you need to wait until that router is detected here. So you can see it is now detected here. Okay, so once it is detected here, you can just log in, because when you reset it or when it is new, by default the login is admin and the password is just empty. So just click on that and then click on connect. Okay, so that is usually the interface when you just bought the router. So once you log into the router, you don't need to remove this configuration, because if you've connected that to your laptop or computer, if you remove this configuration, to lose internet. So our script runs in a way that it will override everything. So you just need to click on OK here, and then once you click on OK, the first thing you need to do is to open a new terminal window. Here you click on terminal, and then it asks if you want to see the license. No, and then it asks you to set the password. So I have set the password, but I now can run commands. However, I want to let you know that on Mac, I realized that on Mac OS it's a little bit different because on Windows I saw that when you just restart the application, the first thing it will ask you is to set a new password. But on Mac OS, once you log in, it asks you to set a new password on the terminal when you want to use the terminal. So once you have access to the terminal, you need to go back and then you just copy this command. And once you've copied that command, go back to Winbox, to the router terminal, and paste that command. And once you pasted that command, you hit enter. And it's going to download a script and run it on your router. And then if you look carefully here, you'll see some provisioning happening. Let us just wait for the script to run. If it runs successfully, and you can see now the router is online, and you can see auto provisioning is happening now. You can see CPU. Once the router comes online, we start now getting statistics, but then other scripts are being auto provisioned into the router, meaning that they are being uploaded to the router once the connection has been done through WireGuard. Now we can run scripts directly on the router, so it will automatically do that and you don't have to worry. You can see it has uploaded a PPPoE config. It's now running the hotspot config. Now it is done, it is running expiry config. And there are many. It has already scanned the router and found out that this router has 5 ports. And you can see automatically the Ethernet port is locked. And we have here the Ethernet. Ether 1 is blocked. You can see provisioning completed successfully. And you can see now we have all the ports here. Monitoring is now on. And there are things you need to know about this router. So I show you the router and you saw that it has 5 ports and all the ports have been scanned. Now I'll talk a little bit about the ports. The first port is usually connected to the source of the internet. So this one is locked. You cannot do any changes. So that is why we lock it here. And then the second Ether port, which is Ether port 2, the functionality that we've implemented is that you can free it because let me explain something. The way the script runs, it configures all these ports, all the 3 ports, which is these 3 ports to be hotspot ports. So that means that if you want to extend the internet, you want to plug the internet from the MikroTik router to the Wi-Fi extender so that it can cover a large area, you don't need to do any configuration. You just plug in the port that you've set as the hotspot port, and it will broadcast that. Hotspot in such a way that when somebody tries to connect to it, is going to open the captive portal so that they can pay first before they can access the internet. So that's why you have this functionality where you can set a port as either hotspot port or PPoE port, or you can free it. So freeing the port means that if I plug in an Ethernet cable and connect to a computer, I will be able to access the internet without being asked to pay. So that is the meaning of free. So Ether 2, which is port 2, by default it is freed. So meaning that if you are the user of the internet, you want to use it, you don't have to pay. So just insert the Ethernet port in that port, and then Ethernet cable in that port, and then you can now connect to your devices or another router, and you'll access the internet. However, these are the ports that are set as hotspot ports are going to broadcast the hotspots, and you can connect Wi-Fi extenders and stuff like that. If you want a certain port to act as PPPoE port, you just click on PPPoE, and it's going to be sent. The command is going to be sent to the router. So for example, you can free port 4. If I click on free, you can see port 4 set to free LAN. So it is now free. Alright, meaning that if you connect your Ethernet cable in that port, you'll be able to access the internet free. But if I set it as PPPoE, I'll not be able to access the internet. So you can see how our script is comprehensive enough that it does a lot of management of the router on your behalf. You don't need to do any manual configuration on the router. Everything is very simple and simplified for you through this site interface. Alright, now let's move on. Now that you have created a site here and it is online, a few things have happened. The router has been configured, and if I click on the if I click on this internet here, if I click on this hotspot here, you can see there are other networks on the Mac. On the other networks, you will see there is a hotspot that has been automatically created from the name of your Wi-Fi. And if I click the name of your site, or the site you created, and if I click on this, it is going to pop up the captive portal. Now, I want to just demonstrate it for you. Let me just click on this Kisumu. And there you go. You can see that it pops up the captive portal. Alright, so you can try to connect. For example, you can enter any phone number to try to connect, alright, and see what it tells you. You can see it tells you no active subscription found. Please buy a package. And then if you go to packages, you see there are no packages. Alright, and the reason why there are no packages is that we've not created any package. Right, so let's just cancel. And then the reason why it is working, it's not supposed to work. It is working because we are connected to the Ethernet port. Okay, we are connected to the free Ethernet port, meaning that we have access to the internet, right, through the Ethernet port. So even if the Wi-Fi is not working, we can still we still have access to the internet through the Ethernet. Or I can even demonstrate to you, right? So let me connect to Kisumu to just show you that the internet, we don't have internet if we remove the Ethernet port. So we are not connected. So for now, Ethernet port is connected. Let me just close this. You can see we are still connected to Kisumu. And then so if I try to access YouTube, you can see it is working. But let me now remove the Ethernet port and try to refresh. I have removed the Ethernet port, the Ethernet cable. So if I try to refresh it, you can see it is not working. It is not working because we've not paid. We are connected to the Wi-Fi, but we've not paid. So there is no internet. You can see connect to internet. Alright. So let me just insert it so that we can create some packages. So let's go back and create some packages. So we go back and create some packages. So you can see active subscription, there's no subscription, expired subscription, nothing. Then you have packages here. So we have two types of packages. We have PPPoE packages, which are for the users who are using the Ethernet internet, and then you have the hotspot packages here, right? So let's just create a hotspot package. So click on the create button, and then access type it's hotspot. So let's just do unlimited 20 minutes. Okay, let me do 5 minutes because I want to show you once we buy that, I'm going to show you, right? So the price, I'm just doing 10 shillings, this 5 for demonstration. And then we have the one now. How many are there? So just 150, 200, 300. Yeah, so 300, that is 5 minutes, and this is time based. So let me show you, there are two billing times. You have time based, we have hybrid. So time based is where a package is limited by time, and then hybrid is where it is, you can set time and quota. So quota based is where it is limited by quota, meaning that I can say 1 GB internet. So once you use that GB and the GB runs out, and then now we don't have, the internet will be cut. Hybrid is where I can limit by time. Let's say 5 GB valid 5 hours. Okay, so if one of them elapses, the internet is cut. Right? So it is unlimited, and I said time based, so for the time being it is time based. And then here I could set the speed. So the speed I could do 10 M, okay. And then here I can set the maximum number of users, okay. The maximum number of users I want to access. I want them to simultaneously use the package. So for the time being, let me just set 1, and then and then add package. Okay, so you can see that now the package is active. But I want to show you something here. I want to first try to go to fast.com so that you can see my current internet speed, and you'll also see the speed when we connect to the hotspot. You can see it is actually around 50 Mbps. Okay, now let us now that we have the package, let us connect to this Wi-Fi. So I'm going to remove this Ethernet cable. I'll remove the Ethernet cable. Alright, now we don't have access to the internet. Alright, we don't have access to the internet. So what I'm going to do, you can see this is the cable. I've removed it. So I'm going to connect to another hotspot for a short time, and then switch back to Kisumu so that it can pop up the captive portal. So I'll click, where is it? We have Kisumu here. Let me click on it. Now you can see I have the captive portal here, and if I click on the packages, you can see we have this one that we've just added. Now I want to connect to it. I just click on connect, so it shows you the phone number, and then pay now. So it tells you to check your phone, and if I check my phone, I should get a pop-up. I'm getting a pop-up that is telling me to pay. So I'm going to pay, and I want you to just observe as I pay, I want you to observe the screen. I have paid. Let me wait for the message. I've gotten the message, so just watch this screen. You can see payment received, connected. You can see success. Now it is done. You click on the done. Now when you click on done, we are now connected to the internet that we've paid. So let's try to run fast.com again. And you can see it is limited to 10 Mbps, just as we did. Okay, as we set it. You can see it was 50, but it is now limited to 10 Mbps. Right, and that is the upload and download. Now if now we come back, since somebody has subscribed, we have a client who has paid for that package. If you come to the dashboard, you can see statistics. You can see one active session which are paid here, and then you have routers online or sites online. You have only one, and then we have revenue today is 5 shilling that I've just paid for, and then you can see the recent payments, the one that I've paid, and the device Mac OS, and the site that the user is connected to is Kisumu, and we have usage leaderboard. All right, usage leaderboard, and basically, if you come to active subscription, you can see the usage. You can see that this user has used 36.66 MB of the internet they have access to, because now it's set limited. You can see there's no limitation here. It is set to unlimited, and remaining is 2 minutes. Now I did this purpose so that I can show you how it disconnects, right? So if we come back here and continue watching this video. So this video is a continuation of the first video, which is this one, which was talking about how to register on Vertexlink platform. The more we watch, you can see here. I'm going to take you through how to configure your hardware. That is how to connect the source of the internet to the MikroTik router, and then from MikroTik router to your laptop or computer, and then how to link. So let me just mute that. But you can see what I wanted to show is this auto updating. You can see now we have used 38.04. Okay. So I want you to watch this. Time remaining is now 1 minute. And once this time runs out, you will see that you will lose access to the internet. The user will be cut out because it was limited by time. Okay, you get it? Yeah, it was limited by time. All right, so let's just wait. And expired subscription, you don't have. Zero remaining. So it will take a short time before the user gets cut off. Right. So when the user gets cut off, this is going to be moved to expired. Going to be moved to expired subscriptions. You can see there it goes, it happens in real time. You can see it now changed to expired. All right, and now if we go to expired subscription, you can see here. All right, quarter full means that the user used the entire minute that we set. All right, and that is how the software works. Now let me try to refresh. There you go. You can see don't have access to the internet. We don't have access to the internet because our internet right now and the user automatically got disconnected. So I think I don't want to talk about a lot of things in this video because the video is already too long. In the next session, I will probably talk about vouchers, and we are going to talk about more and more features of this application. All right. Okay, so in case you have a new question, you can just ask in the comment and we'll reply very fast. Thank you so much.